Welcome, guys. So, a few days ago, the special advisor to Mr. President, Femi Gbajamiala, I think, I'm sorry if I'm actually wrong with the pronunciation of the name, he went on a conference. He went to a conference and then he made a speech. He made a speech about the social media in general, the Nigerian social media space in general. And of course, I know he's mostly talking about the Twitter space, the Twitter. So he said they call it a menace. Like he said, Twitter is now a menace. Hey God, social media is a menace in Nigeria. That it needs that he's in support of. So what he's saying is in essence is that he's in support of social media being regulated in Nigeria. You understand? So when he made this tweet, when he made this comment, it did not go down well with many Nigerians. It did not go down well with many Nigerians because they feel they are trying to shut people's mouths. They don't want people to be free. They don't want people to say what's on their mind. They don't want people to criticize their government because they feel they feel they are doing their best. They believe they are doing the right thing. So because we are doing the right thing, you don't have to call us out. But of course, everybody, even they themselves, knows that they are not doing anything right. There is nothing they are doing right. So everything they do is just for themselves and their cronies. That's the only thing they do. You get? So I'll first and foremost I'll take one of the things people said about that thing he said, because just like yesterday, so it's just like yesterday as at 2014, this same man was spitting all sorts of nonsense on social media about the then government, Goodluck Jonathan. They were saying all sorts of things. So what he said, Mr. Macaroni did not take it lightly. Mr. Macaroni actually picked offense, among so many Nigerians that were totally against everything he said in that video. Mr. Macaroni was totally pissed off, and he has to go back memory lane after telling him everything he said. He had to go back memory lane to remind him of the things that even he himself used social media to do back then. And when he did it then, nobody talked about regulating social media. They themselves never talked of regulating the social media. But now, because they're in power, they want to regulate the social media. Let me read them out so you see for yourselves. So, Macaroni said, social media was not a menace when Mr. Gbajamiala used it to address the government as vagabonds and barbarians in 2014. Today he's chief of staff, and he suddenly realizes that social media is a menace, hypocritical vagabonds in power, and barbarians at the gates. Yes, and he was actually quoting what Femi said in 2014. This was Femi using social media then. Then he didn't think of it to be regulated. This is another response he gave to him again, which is after his speech. He said, Mr. Femi, this was you when social media was sweeting you. It is evident that you and this accidental and desperate government of yours regard Nigerians as imbeciles. Well, we are not. The people are suffering. Fix up and put an end to this ridiculousness. Then he had to put up old tweets of Mr. Femi against the then government of Jonathan. Listen, $1 billion loan after 3 trillion naira to defense in 3 years. It's evident the president and his advisors regard Nigerians as imbeciles, which we are not. This was Femi in 2014 using social media against the government because he felt that the government weren't doing the right thing, so he needs to call them out. This is him calling them out. And the government of then, 2014, did not talk about regulating social media. This is another one. It says, It tells you how a government will go when desperate. This is an accidental government. Another one, we will not rubber stamp a budget that seeks to borrow more money at ridiculous rates and further impoverish the country. This was Femi in 2014. Now you look at the government of Jonathan then. I'm not saying that Jonathan's government was the best, but of course we know it was way better than Buhari and Tinubu combined together. Now you look at, in terms of the borrowing, you look at how much the then government borrowed compared to what the APC government has actually borrowed. Now they are not seeing anything wrong with it because they are in power, and now they want to regulate the social media because people are calling them out. That's not all. Now, you know, I'm going to say this. When you're an APC apologist, I'm just going to tell you this, that I'm not sorry to say it. I'm saying it unapologetically. You are mad. You are stupid. Yes, you are mad. You are stupid. If you're an APC apologist. My reason for saying this is this. A Twitter user said, I agree with Femi Gbaja with regulation of social media activities, which makes China to be great today within a short period and become best economic growth in the world is based on their government's total control of social media. Nigerians has abused it a lot. Now this is what someone said, an APC supporter said. So he's in total agreement with what Femi said about regulating social media. Now he got this reply. He got this reply from Dr. Ayo. This is the reply he got. If your head is not empty, you cannot tweet like this. He left China's stance on corruption, China's stance on drug dealing, China's stance on production and exports, and then went on to start talking about China's stance on social media. You cannot be sane and support or defend APC. Ndiara people. Yes, they are Ndiara people. Now, China has a stance on all these aforementioned things, he said, on corruption, on drug dealing, and on production and exports. Which of these does Nigeria have? The only thing he can see, or they are seeing, is China's stance on social media. That is the only thing they want to compare Nigeria with. Now, this now got me to dig. I had to do some diggings. And I was like, yes, I've been hearing this, but I needed to be sure of myself, and then I had to look at it. I said, let me go check China's stance on corruption. Let me check it, so that I'll read it. I'll read it out here, so that everybody will see it and know China's stance on corruption. Listen, for the law on corruption in China, it says, under the current criminal law, recipients of bribes may be imprisoned for at least 5 years and have property confiscated. Following amendments to the criminal law, which became effective on the 1st of March 2021, in most serious circumstances, recipients of bribes receive life imprisonment and a criminal fine. That is China's law on corruption. This man left out this China's law on corruption, and what he had to say was China's law on social media. Don't you see? Can't you? Does it mean you're not seeing something? Are you seeing something? Now, let's check out the other one. China's law on drug dealings. Let's check that one out as well. It says capital punishment. China's law on drug dealings. Capital punishment is a legal penalty in China. It is applicable to offer ranging. It is applicable to offer ranging from murder to drug trafficking. Executions are carried out by lethal injection or by shooting. In a survey conducted by the New York Times in 2014, it was found the death penalty retained widespread support in Chinese society. That is China's law on drugs. This man left it and went for China's law on social media. Now, I don't even want to talk. I don't even want to go into details about production and export, because we know, everybody knows that China is the number one in terms of exports, in terms of production. We know that. Let me say, every single thing, more than 80% of everything that is imported into Nigeria is from China. They produce massively, massively. Those big things, is it cars? Is it Apple? Okay, take for instance now, Apple is an American company, is owned by an American company, but their production site is in China. So which means everything about Chinese is being produced, everything about Apple is being produced in China. So they produce massively. Which of this does Nigeria do? None. But this man had the guts to compare China's social media stance with that Nigeria should emulate China's social media stance. But he did not say Nigeria should emulate China's social stance on corruption, on drug dealings, and on production and exports. No, he did not say it. So you see why I said that for you to be an APC member, you don't have to have sense. Just throw your sense away, and then your sins are forgiven. Then you become an APC member. So guys, like, I'm really tired of all these APC guys. They never see anything wrong in what these people are doing. So let's take for instance now corruption. We know corruption is going high in Nigeria. Of course, we know that. So there is no law in place to checkmate it. So they keep doing it. You understand? About the drug case, of course, now there were rumors. We know, you know who I'm talking about. There were rumors. Are they rumors or are they actually true? Of course, we know these things are true. They are not rumors. You understand? They are truths. They are not rumors. So of course we know. So let's say Nigeria has such law. In this case, where is that person supposed to be? We know where that person is supposed to be. We know. And he's not, of course, he's not the only one. There are so many of them. So many of them in that circle. A lot of them. Okay, even this particular person that is saying this now, this family now, he has a case in the US. He has a case. Of course, he has a case. He has his own criminal case over there. He ran away from it. But that one is a talk for another day. Let me not just delve into that. Let me just talk about this very one here. It is the most important one. So guys, what do you think about this? What's your thoughts about it? Drop your thoughts in the comment section so we can actually share our ideas on this. And please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it interesting, and also subscribe. Let's take this channel to a new level. See you in my next video, guys. Peace out.